It's your boy, Coach Low for Life, a.k.a. the Cap King, and you definitely listen to Low. Alongside me is my host, my man with the plan, Coach Katt, R&R, baby.
What the?
I'm going to go ahead and start getting this thing right, get it broke down to the funky sound, backed up by James Brown. A lot of great things went down this weekend, from high school to Friday to Saturday college football, and even tonight we got a big game going on with USC and LSU. But we're going to talk about the high school wrap up, even though we got some Central Florida player that's right now playing in college representing Central Florida. But I tell you, the information we got coming to you today on the Sports Club Florida, coming to you every single week. High school wrap up, Wednesday breakdown, and the Coach's Corner by Coach Low. All in one week. All the information you need is coming right here by your boy Coach Low, Coach Katt, Mr. Right Choice on Sports Club Florida. We're live. We're live, and I'm telling you, we're going big tonight. We're getting into it. Everyone talk about the big game. I call it the big three. How about the
Hello.
big three? The big three games of the week that we put it out on Sports Club Florida. They definitely did not disappoint. They did not make everyone say, man, that game was boring. They said, wow, that game was good when you got Lake Mary and Osceola. They said, man, that was some defensive battle with Apopka and Evans, the rivals for over 50 years. But then the game of all games, the mighty Edgewater Eagles falls to the First Academy Royals. Wow. We're going to break it down right there.
Oh
Me and my
no.
boy, Coach Katt, you ready to break this down? The big three
Man,
and
which one are we getting into first? Let's get it.
well, we got to already tackle it fast from the
Let's get it.
University of Notre Dame commit. We got to talk about how he prevailed at the end, how he came through that game. And remember, he's on cloud nine because not only did he win with Lake Mary High School, the University of Notre Dame broke out and won their first game against Texas A&M. And
Yes,
man,
sir.
that was a great sight to see too. 'Cause I am an Irish dad. So, Katt, tell about
so
Lake Mary, and Osceola. Give me the scores and give me some insight.
so the Lake Mary game versus Osceola. The final score ended up being 24-7 at the end of it. Um, this game was a game that I chose with my heart. I chose Osceola. But of course, the Rams at home with the intangibles and the on the arm of their man, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Mr. Noah Grubbs himself. Um, they prevailed 24-7. All right. Um, did you get a chance to see this game, Coach?
I was actually at the Edgewater and the TFA while Mr. Wright Truck was at a Park and Evans. So I need you to just give
Correct.
it to us and tell them, how that game was a fight I heard for the first half.
In
And
the first half, it was 0 to about 10, maybe 10-3, at the half. After that, the Rams came back with adjustments, and they put points up on the board in a hurry. So, what do you think about the Lake Mary Rams?
Well, here's what I know. When you're dealing with Lake Mary Round, once again, we talked about it all the time. We talked about last week when we picked them, as one of our big three games of the week. And we already know that when you got a running back guy like Isaiah Thomas touching the ball, and you got receivers out there that can catch it, and they've been playing together for a while. We're talking about Noah Grubbs, who has been supreme all the way from he was younger, always coming up to 7-on-7. Now he put a display right there at before Lake Mary High School. But then remember, and right now they have been battle tested. They have lined up and played against some teams that they had to go to fight a little bit. So now you think about Osceola, Osceola is also a team that goes to state. Lake Mary have never even been to a state game, but Lake Mary have Osceola have played in the state championship. So when you look at the matchup, you're thinking, hey, I got this big powerhouse Osceola. I got Lake Mary who get through the playoff but don't really finish it. But then all of a sudden they got top running backs like Travion Swint. You know, they got all the Miami commits. They got defense that fly around to the ball. But Lake Mary is just a team that know how to line up and tie their shoes up toe to toe and just protect their quarterback and get down the field. And then on defense, they're gonna be in position. And my understanding, they was in the best position ever because Travion Swint did not even have 100 yards. Talk to us about that, Coach Katt.
They
Difficult
had eight.
again. There you go. I got you. Go ahead, Cat.
You can hear
Hold
me.
on.
Um,
Yeah.
I said all game they stacked the box, eight in the box, and dared them to throw. The Osceola offense did not make the adjustments early enough. Later on in the game, were able to score, but by all means, again, if you don't make the adjustment or in time, you did a disservice to your kids, I would say. But I don't ever think that the Osceola Cowboys are ever going to be in too much of a slump. They will bounce back. Their defense um, held them in the game early, excessively. But again, as I told you, the Achilles heel of that defense was going to be their secondary, and the Lake Mary Rams did exploit that in the second half. Okay. Um, so Lake Mary has this week a big time game versus Lakeland this week. Uh, I am excited to see that one. By all means. What game do we have up next? I think that's a Popka versus Evans. A Popka versus Evans.
Well, yeah, we do got a pop with Buster Evans coming up next. We'll talk about that's one of our big three games of the week. But I'd like to conclude with Lake Mary and Osceola because if you look at it, when all said, when you look at it all said and done, you did see Noah Grubb did prevail. You know what I mean, and having a five, basically like a 500 passing rating. When all was said and done, he did make some great plays that counted, that mattered. As you can tell, it shows that in his stats itself. It shows in his stat what he have done. But they played as a team. They played solid, my understanding. Getting the score back and forth by looking on Twitter and following through with Chris Hayes and on Varsity Sports. Just I love how they keep everything going and it's like give you the score, give you an update play by play. And you seen that it was a game that at any time a team could crumble and just and give it up at the very end. But of course, Lake Mary did not give it up at the very end. And once like you said, when you can stack them in the box and you know that they can't have the best passing opportunity, you already know a good coach like Coach Perry at Lake Mary is definitely going to take advantage of that and say, listen, if they're going to beat us, going to beat us with their arms and not with their legs. And as you can see, that's what happened. And Lake Mary did defeat Osceola Cowboys Friday night. And with the final score came to Cat. Final score.
Final score reported was 24-7. Uh, Let me confirm that. I want to go to the box score and see exactly how how those scores came about. One moment. All right. All right. Box score. Box score.
Yep, 24-7. Lake Mary.
24-7. But the box score was uh so at halftime it was actually 0-3, 0-3, and then in the third quarter, uh, the Lake Mary Rams did punch the ball in for seven, but then they exploded for two touchdowns in the fourth quarter, as well as Osceola matched that with a touchdown of their own. and the total score was 24-7. Um, but again, who does Osceola have next week? Osceola will be facing South Dade out of Dade County, obviously. As well as we already said, the Lake Mary Rams will be facing Lakeland this Friday
Well,
upcoming.
we we definitely want to talk about that when we get into the top 10 teams, and then and see where we're going at with that. And like you said, there you go, right there. You have Lake Mary over Osceola, 24-7 to move on to next week. Going to week
24-7.
3. 24-7. Now we got Apopka versus Evans. You asked about Apopka versus Evans, the rival team that been I'm talking about been playing against each other back in when I played high school at Apopka in 1987, 88, 89. And I'm telling you, it's been going for a long time, that rivalry with the Gherkin boy. But now there's a new coach at Ham, which is Coach Odom at Ham over there at Evans. And he got Coach Rosen, who coached with Rick Darlington and back in when and also he was a coach over at Osceola. So this is a strong coaching staff to not to put together. They talk about Apopka being rebuilding or a younger group, but they talk about Evans, got some training. So with that being said, I know Mr. Right Choice was at that game and watching that game there. Mr. Right Choice, give it to us. Tell us, what did you see and what was your observation on the Apopka versus Evans in that battle when the score ended up with 6-0 Apopka?
Well, as you can see in the final score, I got it right there on the bottom, 0-6 Apoca way. As you can see, without
Yeah.
even going to the game, you would notice that you would think it's a defensive game, and both teams' offenses were definitely struggling. Apoca is known for not throwing; they really run a lot, pound the ball down the middle. Evans' defense looked really good in my eyes. I was recording the game; they looked really good. They had one drive that kind of threw them off, and that's how they end up scoring. When the running back ran, I guess about 30 some yards. 30 some yards down close to the end zone, red zone, and then the quarterback ran up the middle. But I think all that came about because, when your offense is not producing the yards or getting the first downs or chewing up the clock and you're turning over the ball fast, it gets the defense out there over and over and over again. It's only a matter of time that sometimes something's going to slip up, something's going to break. They're going to break coverage or they're going to break a tackle. And I think that's basically what happened. The defense definitely looked really good. Offense definitely struggled. In my eyes, D4, one of the top running backs, he didn't do as great only because he was they boxing him in. He did finally break loose. I think in the third quarter, he broke like a 10 or 15 yard run. I think about 10 yard run or 15, and then the next play he broke about 60 yards. I wanted him to. He was coming right. He was running right at me. I wanted him to score so bad because I knew in my head. I like if he does not score on this break right here, we might not score. And come to find out, with me saying that, I was correct because right after that play, they did a right up. They ran up the middle. Then they ran up the middle again, and then they did a try to run him outside. It didn't work. He lost like 10, 15 yards. But if you look at when I looked over and did the highlights of the game, Evans was moving the ball, but we just didn't capitalize on third downs or even fourth downs when we got closer in to our side of the field. So other than that, defense played good on both ends of the ball. I know you asked me for a player of the game. I couldn't really give you no player of the game because by me being behind the lens and shooting the game, it's hard for me to really say when the game was like 0-6 because nobody really stand out. If I want to say anybody stand out, it was basically I would say D4 because D4 finally broke and he was able to break 60 yards to get us to the win. Now there was one shakeup that I did see that I wished I seen earlier in the game instead of fourth quarter. He brought in number 11, not sure his name. He brought in a quarterback to switch up the pace. He came
Yes.
in, he broke about 10, 15 yards, got the first down. Was really good.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, dog, why he didn't go in earlier to switch up the pace, to switch it up, to trick Apaka, because he haven't been back there all season. They don't know, you don't see no game footage on him. So I wish that he was in there a little bit more because I seen it. Then they put him in, then they did another play. He ran, got about a couple of yards, and then they took him out.
Wow.
He was only there 2 plays, and then put the other quarterback in. And I don't think nothing's wrong with the other quarterback. I just think that he probably need to do. He's a little shorter, so I was seeing him trying to throw the ball, like throw it, but he didn't throw it. But then he gets sacked after that. So I just think he struggled with seeing over the line and why he
Gotcha.
was cocking it and bringing it back. But other than that, the game was good. I think Evans definitely could have won. It was in the red zone 2 times.
Well, one thing about it, we all got this thing shoulda, woulda, coulda, and all that. You say that, right? Because one thing about yeah, one thing about them, a Parker Blue Dart, they're gonna put the defense together. They always have some of the best front four in the building when it comes to their D line, the D tackles, and D end. They're gonna hold the fort down. The linebacker like Trey Mudrow, guys like Kingston Shaw, definitely gonna come down here and play some real good football and physical football. One thing about a Parker, they will do what we call the nut cracker, and they're gonna bring it every single time. You got Miles Feeding over there to play man to man against any receiver in the state, without a doubt. But so that defense all gonna play well, and you're gonna beat a Parker this year, right? You definitely got to outscore them because they're gonna play hard no football, hard no defense. They're gonna be physical. They're gonna fly around the ball, and they're gonna get the job done. Offensively, Parker definitely gonna need some help. You got Noah Morgan right there. You got uh, Tyler. What is Davison? You got Davison over there, and they trying to make something happen. But I'm definitely not going to ever count a Park out, just because of the fact they always find a way to get in that playoff and compete every single time. And there you have it right there. Parker, Evans, Parker on top, 6-0. They go into week 3, 2-0. While Evans, that's what is one
Is
and
we're
one,
1-1. So we got up
one and
next.
one.
You guys got up next on the clock. We got Edgewater versus TFA, and let me pull it up right now. Here we go, you
Yeah.
guys.
And what a game! What a game! That I had the opportunity, had the pleasure to go to this game, and I look at things. People look at, well, what's going to happen, and how this game going to go. Some people look at this game as two powerhouse teams. Some people look at this game as a lower level team gets a powerhouse team. Some people look at this game as, Edgewater going to do this. Some people look at this team as TFA got an all-star team. There's so many ways to look at it. You can look at this game here in so many different lenses. So if and buts about it, but there's no right way to look at this game. And me knowing football, hey, I'm not. I don't. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm not a. Have a crystal ball, but I was real close. Cause fourth quarter, I knew this game would get down to the fourth quarter, and it was an amazing game, and from top to bottom. But one thing you did recognize that the coach prepared like crazy. You see the
Yes, sir.
preparation from the head coach and Coach Conway and the offensive line like Chad Matavy coming out there with steam coming from behind his ear. Right, you had it set. You have Aaron Jones, Trench Academy lineup, D line ready to go with his boys ready to rock and roll. You had Stephen Moffitt already prepared to call this offense because he already won every 707 tournament that they went to. So they was ready to control the airways with the air traffic control. That was TFA. The fan was there. The stand was hot. The smoke was steaming. And then you got Edgewater taking the long walk, coming through the tunnel, coming through the hole. They Eagles Pride. Eagles Pride was there. You got Carter Manuel, All-American. I got Tyson for FIU. I got Samar Fleming over here at Boston College. Brandon Paulson right here. I got Josh Perry. I got O-line, D-line. I got Terrence Mack on the App State. We're like, this is a football game.
Hello.
And here it is. The game begins. Everyone want to know what happened. Coach Katt, I'm gonna let you
Man,
I'm
oh
gonna let you
man,
tell me, give me a
oh
little insight,
man.
and I'm gonna break this game down for you
First of all,
guys
first of
from there.
all, when we broke this game down last week, I personally said this was a sneaky game. This was a game that if Edgewater athletes did not come prepared the entire 4 quarters, it could bite you in the butt. And at the very end of the game, Mr. D Meat showed himself, and Mr. D McCray went up top 6 to the chicken box, baby, to bring them to 28-24. At the halftime, they first of all, this game was always close from the beginning. That at halftime, the score was 14-17. Um, I want to say that 14-17, and the Royals were down. But again, I told you guys that D McCray was gonna come to play. And I already picked my player of the game before the game even started. All right. So, you already know who's my play of the game. Who is
Yeah.
your play of the game,
Well,
Coach?
I want to after we break this down a little bit more, then I want to get into the play of the game. We'll go over who our picks, who picking, who's winning, as knowing how to pick football team. We'll talk about who's winning
Oh,
after
here
that.
you go.
But I didn't want to, but I will like to break down one thing. I want to definitely break down. Look right here. I want to break down how the game went, how the game prevailed. First quarter, first drive, Carter Mann throws a 60-yard strike down the field to Tyson Carter,
Okay.
and Tyson Carter dropped the pass, and that was like, oh, took the air up out of Edgewater right away. But at the same time, the game got to be played, or if anybody got to get back. And you come back right now with Solomon George lines up. And what was so amazing, I don't know who set this up, maybe I'm wrong, but when they was in the middle of the field, he stood in the pocket on the top of that tee or top of that mound like a baseball catcher, or I mean a baseball pitcher like Lake Mary in the championship. He stood at the top of that mound and threw them strikes all down the field. But then when he rolled outside, all that started to change it again. Now he throwing ball from the far side of the field. So it was so many things going on that I was just in awe the way he did things, throwing the ball and controlling that game. And I mean, throwing dimes, not throwing nickels, not throwing pennies. Solomon George was throwing dime, sitting in the pocket like a real true quarterback. I mean,
Yes, sir.
you want him to be recognized. This was the game that people now know who Solomon George is. If they don't know, then now they know because he does a lot of great things I'm very proud of. But at the same time, then how they come back down and had a sophomore Matt Powell, a transfer from Bishop Moore, right? And then
Jalen
transfer
Powell.
from
Jalen Powell.
Jalen
Jalen
Powell.
Powell.
Yeah, just sorry, Jalen Powell. Transferred from Bishop Moore, go to Jones High School, and decide to find my home at TFA, gets the ball, scores a 6-yard touchdown. Now we got a ball game. We're going to play some football from there. But Carter Manning don't fail us at all. Okay, he is an Adidas All-American now, and he's striking down the field, and got Juju Lewis pile up in there. Come back again. Here we go. Now they got a top receiver, just doing a lot of great things. And his name is so interesting. His last name, Tompkins. It's a weird why you say his last name. But this wide receiver was doing some heck of catching. It wasn't just him. He had a
Dane
whole crew of
Dane
wide receivers.
Tompkins.
Tompkins, that's it. Whole crew of wide receiver doing some amazing things. I mean, it was a crew of them, and that was very impressive to me too, as you can see. And then you not only that you came back again. The second half, we're like, what we're gonna do? What's the game plan? Carter Manuel ended up getting to Josh Perry. Josh Perry, get up in there and score. He hit a one with a sincere catch a touchdown. So I'm like, that's it. Fourth quarter, get here, and you like it's over. It's done. 24, game 14. They're up by 10. Fourth quarter, 4 minutes left in the game. Coaching plays a role now. Now it's time to
It
start coaching the
matters.
game. Now that matters. What we do now, how we go in this game. Do we let the gas off or put the gas on? And I don't know. I can't say what it was. But I know one thing. That TFA did not quit. And that Solomon George, boy, he was rolling. I mean, he striked them all the way down the field, and he put a strike right there in that end zone again for another touchdown. And now
So
we're up, and the game get ready to go. Last but not least, minute 9 left in the game. Solomon George does it again. Throw it up, deep left, man-to-man cover looks like it. Safety nowhere to be found. Cornerback fall, score a touchdown. TFA is a team that need to be reckoned with. 28-24 of the mighty Edgewater, two-time state runner-up, nationally ranked team that went in to beat NFL Academy fall. And I hate to say this, it wasn't
Just to
they,
add, let
I
me
want to
add
say this.
this.
Let me say this. It wasn't David and Goliath. If I can say what they want to say, that was not a David and Goliath game. That was a game of two giants, where you say it or not, because TFA lines up with power forward guys, top coaches that line up play the game, and they definitely a team to be reckoned with. And you heard it here from me. They definitely a
so
team to be reckoned with.
so real quick
First,
before you go
first off,
before hold on one second.
real quick.
Before you go, real quick, Katt, hold on one second, because I got him sitting in the booth real quick. Let's bring in George real quick, you guys. Let me bring in George. let me bring him in real quick. All right, you guys, here we go.
Solomon, Georgia.
Solomon Joy, what's going on?
What's up, Coach?
Oh man, I'm over here just chilling like a million, trying to get a billion. And Katt, you know Coach Katt boy, he's on here with me live right now. And I don't know if you had a chance to watch us live. If you didn't have a chance to watch us live, we're talking about you, about
Hello,
your poise,
man.
your leadership, your strength, your growth out there in that game with a powerhouse team like Edgewater. Tell us, man, how you feel about that game.
Feeling great about that game, knowing that we just beat a top team in Orlando.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
now and not
Man,
just Orlando. That Go ahead.
you finished the game 14 for 29, 275 yards and two touchdowns. But not to mention, you actually handed the Edgewater Eagles their first loss at home in 3 years. How does that feel, brother?
Feels amazing knowing that nobody else did that but us.
And last year, Edgewater went undefeated in the regular season. Here it is now. That's not going to happen for Edgewater this year, because of what you and your team did. Tell about your team. I mean, because I know when you come to TFA, Coach Jeff Conaway, he's not about individual, and Stephen Moffitt definitely not about individual. So tell about this team at TFA and how y'all prevail over the Mighty Eagles.
Us just preparing well, us like spending time with each other outside of practice and getting to know each other for the chemistry and just being able to go out there and ball and just play for each other and trust each other and do what we're supposed to do.
Well, you got to think about this right here. Y'all do come from, I call it all walks of life, but a great walk of life. When you got guys coming over from Lake County, the guys that come from Leesburg, they come from some already at the school. They can't feel where they came to the program, which is nothing wrong with that. You go where you go where it fits for you, what works for you to help you have a great football journey, help you get great coaches so you can be prepared for the next level that is college football. If fan busts about it, and great recruiting. Mafia do a great job. You got guys there, and Coach Katt to tell you got guys there right now sitting on power for an offer, and you got Big Chance Barkley sitting in front with Noah Devine. How did that make you feel?
That made me feel good knowing that my O line blocking for me, Noah, Chance, Sean, Jarvis, all them in front of me. I'm sitting in the backfield great.
Well, I tell you one thing. I'll tell the
Okay.
Coach Katt, me and Katt. Let me say that, Katt. I want you to piggyback off this. We're just talking about how quarterback can't really see over the line. Mr. Wright Choice was saying that, but I'm laughing because I was telling them when you was in the mound, you would see like at the peak of the mound, it like a pitcher, and you stayed in the pocket when you was on the peak. But then when you got down on the hash, you was like rolling outside, and I'm like, did Moffitt set that up, or that was just where the plays went?
He said that was our play call.
I knew it. But that's brilliant coaching. I'm on the mound. I'm sitting up high. I'm on the peak of the field. I can stay in the pocket. When I'm on the hash, I can roll outside a little bit, right? 'Cause I can see better that way. So amazing job by you and TFA Royals. So excited. Congratulations for you guys. Katt, you want to anything you want to add to Mr. Solomon Joy so we announce our player of the week?
So coming into this game, you guys knew this was a big game. A lot of you guys circled this game on your calendar, and even when the schedule came out, it was a lot of chatter and a lot of chirping between you two teams. Okay, um, tell me, how did you mentally prepare to and keep yourselves out of the hype? How did you keep yourselves out of the hype?
What I did, I just kept off social media, wasn't on social media because I know that's where everybody be at. So just locking in, just going over the film study and just being with the scout reports and just doing that.
Okay.
Well,
Um,
go
you
ahead.
had a great game, threw six balls to D McCray. Um, how do you feel when he's lined up out there and you might not know where you're gonna throw it? Do you just know that he where he's gonna be and you throw it up, or do you guys have chemistry enough that you know where he is? You're gonna definitely gonna connect.
We definitely have chemistry. Just knowing where he gonna be at and just throw him the ball and he gonna make a play.
Well, let me jump in right quick. I got a quick question here, Solomon. There was an opportunity for you to run that ball. I seen it. I'm telling you, I said, oh my gosh, he finished strike and go. And he probably got 5 yards, maybe seven. But instead, you actually set up, turned up the hips, and flipped that ball to 15-yard strikes and moved down the field on a touchdown before the winning touchdown. And then eventually you hit them big once again down the seam to cut the ball maybe on the 1-2 yard line. Then y'all pound in for a touchdown from there. You know, what is Solomon George trying to do? Show everybody that I have an arm, I can throw, I can run, and I'm just not a runner at the same time. What is the expectation for you, and what's your plans once you leave high school?
Once I leave high school, I'm trying to go to college anywhere that I'm able to get an opportunity at. Just being able to showcase my talent even more and get to the big stages.
And plan,
So
but you
hold on,
plan.
hold
Go
on,
ahead.
hold on. So you don't have an offer right now? You're not
I have
committed anywhere right now?
I ain't hear
Say
say
Millsap,
it
again.
again.
Millsap, the
Hey,
university.
all the schools out there right now, Mr. Solomon Georges is a real deal quarterback. Do not miss this opportunity. He's here. Hello. Go
Well, I tell
get
you
him.
this. What I love about being on this show, listen to Loach, and we got this thing Facebook Live. I actually always go back and tag all my college coaches that's on Facebook with me. We all on Sports Club Florida. We also put this on our YouTube page. Then we'll take it, put it on our Twitter, and we'll tag. We'll put out there to the coaches and the writers and everybody. And that's what's great about Sports Club Florida. It's about gaining exposure for all, especially our athletes in Central Florida, along with what R&R does, along with what Excel Speed and I do, and Sports Club Florida together. This sport's going to get there. I'm giving you guys this platform to come and talk and tell them about yourself and break down your game and tell them about your team itself, because there's no I in team itself. So I tell you right now, in Solomon Joy, we had a lot of guy that we were trying to pick for to be the game the player of the week. And I tell you right now, me and Coach Katt, we also arguing a little bit about you and your receiver at one point. But I mean,
Yes, sir.
Katt, I don't understand what Katt talking about. The receiver can't throw the ball to itself. That's all I know.
Hello.
But with that being said, we're going to break down our player of the week nominee. The first one came in, actually was you, Solomon George, quarterback, TFA athlete, 14 of 29, 275 yards, 19.6 average passing, two touchdowns, right? Quarterback rating 90.4. Then we had Dane Tompkins, TFA, 6 for 176, 29.3 average yard per catch, two touchdowns, and rush for 62 yards. Noah Grove, quarterback, Lake Mary, 18 of 32, 197 yards, one touchdown. That was the guy that we had for the player of the week out of our big three game. And right now, live on there with us is Mr. Solomon Jordan. He is Sports Club Florida
Player of the
player
game.
of the game, and he get that higher feel, fired up shirt. And we're gonna take all your information, put it on the Twitter, put it out there, and blast out there. You know, because you deserve everything that you earn on that field. So thank you for coming on the show, Solomon Jordan. And I definitely be dropping off that higher feel shirt to you. And Coach Katt, close it up.
Hey, before you go, give a shout out to anybody you want. Give your line, your teammates, your coaches, anybody, mom, dad. Go ahead. You have the floor.
I'm gonna give my shout out to my O line: Noah, Chant, Sean, Jarvis, and Reed.
No
Hey
doubt.
man.
Well, you just said a mouthful. Them all power forwards, in my opinion. So thank you again for coming
Hello.
on the show. And I'll be stopped by TFA. Good luck next week, and good luck the rest of your season. Thank you again, Mr. Solomon George.
Thank you.
There he is.
And there he is. I don't know why I'm
Mr.
blurry today.
Solomon Georges, man.
You
Hey,
And
look.
baby boy been throwing that boy. He's grown so much over the years. I'm incredibly proud of him. He performed exceptionally well this off season, playing for 24K at OT sevens and all of these other 7-on-7s. But again, if you are a school out there and you're looking for a play caller, a field general, Mr. Solomon Georges is available. Get at him now.
I'm so confused because I remember seeing him 2 years ago, and y'all been talking about. I remember because he played behind Tyree at Wakava 2 years ago. And where he played at last year? He went to Leeds. He was at Leesburg last year. You said.
He was at Leesburg. He was Player of the Year. Uh, he did his thing last year. He was one of the most improved players in the area, to be honest. Underneath the tutelage of Coach Moffitt, they did some incredible things last year. So for him to come over and play at a high level at TFA, this is something that he was bred for. He has been uh, fighting against the naysayers for his entire career, to be honest. So he's ready for this pressure. I'm not exactly sure who else he has coming up this week, but for sure, pay attention to Solomon Georges and TFA Royals. They are the real deal. What did their what did their post say? They said we're real. Hello. Do you no it said do you believe now?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Do you
Well, I
believe now?
believe,
Do you
hey, I
believe
believe, but
now?
I didn't believe. But we
Do
believe.
you
But with that being said,
believe
Wait, hold
right,
now?
on.
it was the
Let
right
me do some.
choice. Let's go ahead and break down the top three and who had the best picks.
Well, hold on. Before we go into that, let me go ahead and go through the people real quick on Facebook that said a couple things. Cornelia said Swint went out early and did not come back in. The Osceola game.
Well,
All right.
that's the name of the game. Though you're playing defense, like a team like Lake Mary gonna be in place. It's just what it is. But if all the eggs in the basket on one football player, then you're gonna have a long season. So with all said and done, Swint's an amazing running back. But at the same time, we all got to prepare for A and B and C. You never know what happened in the game, and Lake Mary capitalized and did their thing. And
Yeah,
hope definitely.
I had some more, but dog, for some reason, it be going away and coming back. But I had that somebody said Lakeland's going to be a good matchup this week. Oh, there you go. Lakeland would be a
An
lot for
extremely
them.
good one.
I think this Michelle. She said Lakeland's going to be a lot for them. They have a strong pass rush and a strong secondary. They have a high power offense as well. This is from Michelle
Yeah.
talking about Lakeland. Another person said Lakeland too as well. Terry said congratulations to Solomon. And then let me go to.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
that's
definitely
what I
going to talk.
had.
I know we're definitely going to talk about the Lakeland and the Lake Mary game. We're definitely get a chance to talk about that when we get to the top 10. That's coming up next. And other than that, Mr. Right Choice. Let's break it down. Let's see
So,
who. Let's see who.
Coach Lowe, you
Oh,
run
he
Coach Lowe.
ready.
Look,
He
really,
ready.
I go. Look, I
He's
go
so
through it.
ready.
Mister Right Choice is 0
He's
and
so
3. I
ready.
lost. I
oh.
lost all three of my games. Cat
All
is
three.
1 and
I'm 1 and
2,
2.
and then
I'm
Coach
1 and 2.
Lowe, Coach Lowe is 2 and 1.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all better
All
come on, cuz you know what I'm saying?
right. All
Yeah, I'm
right.
rolling.
Come on with it.
I'm rolling.
Whatever.
Well, let's go ahead. Well, Cat, it's time. It's time to break down that top 10 with Cat. Boy, I
Hold
tell you,
on.
we had a lot of people talk about that top 10 last week. We put it up in controversy. People were not happy, but know what? It's our
Yeah.
choice. So let's talk about the top 10. But what we'll we'll see was we on point with the top 10.
All right.
So let's break down number
First and
one.
foremost, first and
It's John.
foremost, just a quick disclaimer. This week we will be having two top tens. There'll be a East top 10 as well as a West top 10. West top 10 will consist of Tampa area, everything west of Polk County, and everything west of that.
Got it.
And you guys already know number one of the west side will be none other than Lakeland Dreadnoughts. Okay, so keep your head on a swivel. We will be providing that to you shortly. All right, but let's get into the top 10 and how they fared this week. Okay, at number one.
Hold on to keep on talking, Cat.
Well, and here's
Oh, you don't have them. You don't have them
No, I
up.
got it. I got it.
we
I'm too
got,
quick for
but
you,
no,
I,
but
baby.
I,
Cat,
no, no, no,
hey
no, no.
Cat,
Hold
Oh,
on.
you
I do
here's the
have it.
thing, Cat. Here's the thing, Cat. Here's the thing. We picked Jones. Everybody said no, Coco. I guess people didn't understand that. You know, when you got a Jones High state runner up and always get a deep in the playoff, and then you have a Sanford Simon who's a state champ and always deep in the playoff, and they match up early, they're gonna be at the top of the top because they matched up early versus other team that we know they're very good and everything, but they ain't really played no one at that moment yet, or what the case might be. So that's how it's gonna work. So putting Jones at top for me, I feel like it was the right choice coming into the pick because of what they did to the team and put a lot of points up
Well,
on both sides of the ball. So
well, you said
you
I
you said
when
one thing real quick. You did say the right choice. Sorry, I had to cut in and say that.
There you go with that. All right, shameless plug. Hello. All right, but um,
you
my take
crazy.
of that, the biggest argument that a lot of people were talking about was that Coco just they won two state in the last 3 years. They won two state championships, and then last year they lost the state championship by 1 point. Okay, so as I told our guys, it's not fully reliant on what happened last year. It was week two already.
Yes,
You get what I'm saying?
exactly.
If
My
we put
point.
out something in the preseason and so forth, I get you. At, at that point, at that point, Coco was number one, Jones was number two, Seminole number three. Jones and Seminole play, and somebody wins. Guess what? Somebody got to move up. Somebody got to move down. It's just what it is. But
So
by
let you.
all means, they put up some points this weekend. You hear me?
Yes.
So let's
Versus
go over that.
mainland.
Let's go over that because I
Um.
got to keep you guys on track. So
Yeah.
I
Okay, here
got
we go.
Jones and Timber Creek right here pulled up. Let's talk about the scores and then I go through the next one.
Jones Tigers,
First,
Timber Creek Wolves.
first up, Jones Tigers took care of business versus the in town rival, uh, Timber Creek Wolves. The score was 48-3. On to our next score.
And it's
Our next
interesting.
score.
We're interested about the next score that's coming up. Then this what might change the game a little bit because they start to plan somebody, and you had a big expectation, and from a team that went to the state a couple years ago. Here you go, Cat. That's your score. Wow.
All right. So Cocoa Tigers put it up big, 51-0 versus a mainland team that we did have pretty high in the preseason rankings. Even high. But uh, we see Coco Tiger ain't playing no games, and they are upset. Hello. So Coco Tigers 51-0, and that defense is biting. All right. On
Ah,
to the next score.
All right, I got to
On
put.
to the next score.
I'll
Next
put up.
score was Edgewater versus TFA.
Yeah.
We all know the score of that game. That game ended up 28-24, where TFA actually won that game. So the Edgewater Eagles will be dropping this week during on the rankings. Keep your head on the swivel. That will be dropping for you either tomorrow or Tuesday. Okay, on to number four. Number four, I want to say that was Seminole.
yes.
Seminoles, okay, Seminoles. They beat up on Heritage, 34-14, convincingly. Heritage Panthers. All right, on to the next score. That was number five versus number six. That's Lake Mary versus Osceola.
There we go. I got to
Okay.
pull it up.
As you can see, the score was 24-7. Osceola did not take a good trip up to Lake Mary. Left home with a L, and the final score 24-7. All right, on to our number. I think it was number
We,
seven.
yeah, we got to. Yeah, we got to
Seven,
skip. Yeah, because it was back to back.
Bishop Moore. Okay, Bishop Moore. Who did Bishop Moore play?
Right
Bishop
here.
Oh,
went out of town.
Tokensville.
They took a road trip. Took a
Tokensville.
road trip. Went and played a team out of town with a big showing, a big father cat. Let me jump in on this one here.
Go ahead.
They left on a Wednesday and had an opportunity to visit. And what I love about the experience Bishop Moore is giving, like a lot of schools right here doing now, with their team to build that bond and that unity. And they came on from Tottenville Panther 21, Bishop Moore 42. They bring home a victory on an out-of-state game.
Okay. Now we're going back to the rankings real quick. Our number 18, D-Land Dogs. All right, this one caused a lot of ruckus last week. They were saying that they lost last week, the first week. I was under the assumption that that game was a preseason game. But I apologize, y'all. We will be correcting the rankings. So just keep your head on a swivel. But D-Land Dogs did handle business this past weekend, 56-21, beating the New Smyrna Barracudas. All right, on to the next. Number 9, Dr. Phillips. Dr. Phillips. They played University High School. The final score was 54-0. Good Lord. ADP. ADP. Hello. All right.
Hello.
And then last but not least, our number 10 team was TFA, and we'll bring that back. That'll be 28-24 over the number 3 Edgewater Eagles. That score 28-24. Everybody was shocked. I'm not gonna lie. That was a game that all of us got wrong. But again, that was the Edgewater Eagles' first loss in 3 years. Um, so again, hats off to the TFA coaching staff. Man, hats off to both of those coaching staff. They made sure that the kids were extremely prepared for this game, and it showed in the game. All right, what we got up next, man?
Well, actually, I just want to say one thing. If you was at the Edgewater and TFA game, I'm gonna tell you what this is, and I want to give some shout out to some of our Central Florida College board before we close up and get ready for next week. Coach Katt,
Okay.
Mr. Right Choice. There's a lot of programs, a lot of nonsense going on out there with football games from the youth level, which is terrible. Moving up to high school, how things acting. But you want to see class act football? You want to see coaches that respect each other for as a whole. But at the same time, you seen coaches getting at it. Like, let's go. Rah, rah, rowdy. But it was done with class, no problem, no head, no nothing. Players on this team play 707. This team, some play with youth football, some play in the same camp as R&R camp, FBU camp. It was a breath of fresh air. It's exactly what it was. And I tried to compare that when I went to the Florida and Miami game yesterday. I want to see their interaction. And you seen Cristobal acting a fool. I mean, he was having a ball, putting the Miami sign up. But then you got when they scored a touchdown, I think every coach on Miami Hurricane team was 5 yards from the end zone. Out of control. No, they supposed to be on the 20-yard line. I seen them type of thing. But we know that the passion get in the way. But class and character are always the key. So if I go, I want to give some shout outs right quick to some Central Florida board that represented. Jordan Castell, Jakeem Jackson started for the Florida Gators side by side on their loss, 41-17, but the boys out there that represented Central Florida as starters. I wanted to go all the way to Oregon State and represent his first win. Noble Thomas started at cornerback from University of Orange. So excited to see that happen right there on the field. So amazing. Right, I did want to give a couple of shout out there. Zach Toll up there in Georgia Tech. You had Chris Leary out there running around. You had I was so excited to see these guys doing their thing, like Malik Bryant, number 24 for Miami Hurricane, coming in and get opportunity to play. There's just a couple of guys that I seen, I recognize, and watching them on TV. So we want to always represent the guys that represent Central Florida, and we're going to represent them on Sports Club Florida. And I'm Coach Lowe, and Coach Mr. Right Choice closes out from there.
So real quick,
Hey,
by
I
him
got
saying
one.
that, I'm gonna get you. You go next. So I came in the game late because I'm not from here, but I want to shout out two of the kids that I have been following, been around in the last couple of years. Sincere at Pitt, he got a lot of playing time in his previous game. When Kevin told me he did really good, like the second his stats was really good compared to everybody on the D line. His first game, and the other one I'm going to shout out to is Brandon Jacobs from Evans. Sincere, sorry you guys. Sincere he's from Wakava. And then Brandon Jacobs from Evans, he got PT too as well. This previous game at Maryland, go Terps. So them the two kids that I have on my list that I'm keeping a close eye on. There's some other ones too, but them the two ones that stand out. And I like what Coach Lowe is, also recognizing the kids of what they did on Saturday. Since we'll be on here Sunday, we will be mindful to put recognition out on them. So good job on that, Coach Lowe. Who you got, Katt? I know you got some kids too. You
Man, so I had the opportunity to rank the class of 2024 when they were in the eighth grade. And I want to say I went over the list. There were 71 of our top 100 athletes who are at collegiate programs right now. So I want to give a big shouts out to you guys. We will be dropping a list of you guys of where you guys were and where you guys are now. Just keep your heads out on the swivel. And for all of you younger guys, it computes. Okay. Make sure you're doing what you got to do. Make sure you fill out your nomination forms, and we're gonna get it right for you guys. All right. But
thanks.
again, love you guys. Oh, real quick, big shouts out to Jeremiah Smith. You hear me? Mr. Two Touchdown on his first showing. Let me tell y'all right now, he was mad at me when we ranked him. All right. He was not as big as he is now. He is not the specimen. I got footage I will be sharing with you guys later. But he was ranked like number 70 something when we ranked him in eighth grade. But again, Mr. Jeremiah Smith, 2 touchdowns, a big time start for the Ohio State University. All right, we are proud
Look,
of you.
well, look, when you said the two touchdowns, I thought you were talking about Alabama, the little 17 year
Oh,
old.
here we go. Here we
Nah,
go. Here we go.
nah.
I
Uh,
roll
So
oh, one of my
tide.
guys,
look, hey, hold on real quick. Hold
Hey,
on.
Ryan
but
Williams,
that's
he's
a
on
whole.
that
That's a,
list too now.
this.
Look, hold
Ryan
on.
Hey,
Williams
this
is
a
on that list too.
Don't
this is a whole nother show. We're gonna save all
look.
this for
Hold on.
Wednesday night. All right, y'all a
Hold on
whole
real
nother
quick.
show.
Look, let
Come
me hold on
on.
real quick. Coach Katt? Did your college team win?
Did my college team win? Oh,
Yeah.
this team? You talking about that team
Oh,
right there?
okay then. Coach Lowe, what your team did?
They did.
Coach Lowe, what
We
your
play
team
them.
did?
We play tomorrow night at 7:30.
Okay, I ain't gonna talk about the previous one. Okay, we'll follow up with your team. You know
Yeah,
my team.
exactly.
You know my team. We definitely won in a fashionable manner, but we ain't gonna
Okay,
talk too
now.
much about that. But I want to say real quick before we get up off here, you guys. I want to look. We were skeptical about going on tonight because Coach Lowe didn't do a good job in telling me that LSU was playing tonight. But
that was Cat job. Cat don't respond to
but no,
My
but
nobody.
job.
You
but
supposed
to
to
be
respond.
honest, we had the most people. We had the most people live tonight than we had for the period, which is a good sign. I want to thank everybody who has stayed tuned and is commenting. I want to say thank you guys, and also. This is no competition in none of us. The more people that has a platform like this, the more exposure these kids get. That's what it is at the end of the day, you guys. It ain't about no competition, who doing it, who doing this. Is all about giving more exposure to our kids so they can be successful. We're already old enough now. Now we gotta give more respect to our younger generation, our millenniums, whatever, so they can get to the next level. And we guide them and give them the exposure that they need, and put them on a platform so they can enhance their talking, they get on camera and stuff like that. So that's something big that we got to start doing. Everybody want to be against each other. No, we all work as one. As a team, there's no I in team, especially in this platform. But I want to give kudos to Coach Katt, R&R Sports Media, the #1 platform for all youth. Pay attention to him. He does top 100. Don't mind him. He does it like once a year because he be so busy shooting games all the time, and he's supposed to be doing weekly. Don't mind that. You got Coach Lowe.
Hey, hey, we have just for y'all real quick. We got a brand new website about to launch very very soon. I've been quiet and I ain't released rankings like that because I've been working on such. And when this drops, I'm telling you, we're gonna be dropping the rankings twice a year as well as giving updates quarterly. So by all means, make sure that you guys are ready, heads on the swivel, and make sure you go ahead and register. Hello.
And then I got Coach Low here, Excel Speed. Excel Speed not all about football, you guys. Not football, football. It's about all sports. So always tune into him to get training on your speed. I think it's very crucial nowadays to definitely work on your speed. There's a big difference you can see on the football field from a kid that's athletic and a kid that's good. The speed does matter, especially for going to college too. If you're short, you tell me, guys, if you're not tall, what do you need
You
to
gotta be
have?
fast. Speed.
Speed. So I want to kick, and then also too, we'll stay tuned for Coach Low too. I
Hey,
honestly,
I was gonna say God.
Well, everybody need that. Everybody need that.
the other thing too as well, I can honestly say this: Coach Low's probably the only one that I think I can say is the host man, like you have a host man at a club or event. He's the host man for all camps in the U.S. I think I think I can honestly say that, to be honest. So stay tuned to Coach Low. Once we get tuning in on this in the later the years, we're going to be announcing the when he's going to be doing his camps, and also R&R's will start doing their camps, and we'll probably start doing some sports club photos. So that's 3 opportunities for kids to get in front of coaches. Ask Coach Low real quick. Talk about that real quick, Coach Low, before we get off, how important that is for anybody who's watching and parents.
Well, it's definitely important because everyone is talking about it. That if it wasn't important, college camps wouldn't exist. It wasn't important to be for preparation R&R wouldn't exist. It wasn't important for getting the 8th grade All-American game and All-American game and freshman All-American game. Then guess what? It wouldn't exist. It mattered. Camps matter. Training matter. Exposures matter. It helps in every aspect. Even 707, it gets to the point where it matters. Look at OT7, putting it on NFL Network from there.
Yeah.
So all that matter what you're doing to get all the exposure. We got the platform of Sports Club Florida. We got the platform of R&R. You got the platform from Excel Speed, aka the Camp King, and you got kids out there that proof is in the pudding. You can see it. You seen TFA. You seen Blaze Joe. You seen John Pierre. You seen Devin Jackson, Florida commit. You seen Caven Call. You seen Brandon Marshall. You seen all right here in Central Florida. And remember, all roads lead to Low and Katt. I'm Coach Low for life.
And I'm gonna say this: we out, aka Sports Club Florida. We out.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.